All right, so I wished I was a better filmer. Because so I could have took you through rebuilding the carbs, getting the gas tank lid off because it was frozen, unfortunately, and it's very rusty inside. So I went to test Spark. Last time I talked to you, carbs were dirty. I haven't really looked at the back at all. I turned it over, and that was all I did. So come over here. I was like, you know what? Before I mean, obviously, it's going to rebuild the carburetors anyways, but let me make sure that this thing has spark. So I checked 2, nothing. I checked 4, oh, got some spark. Checked 3, nothing. Okay, well, old Kawasaki's tell you this coil does 1 and 4, this coil does 2 and 3. So 2 and 3, no spark, but 1 and 4 ended up having spark. Okay, so something's wrong with that coil. Let me swap the coils. Swap the coil, nothing happened. There's some wire back in here that was chewed completely through. Actually, that was missing altogether. So I had to solder both the red and the green wire in this area. Sorry, in this area, all the way through to get it to work. All right, so carbs rebuilt. Now, it's not perfect. I told myself that I was going to do it one time only. I 75% did the job correctly. So I definitely put it in there. It definitely started, and it does run. But 1 and 2 are not getting the fuel that it needs to run properly. Also, I don't have an air box or a air filter, so it doesn't run. It idles just fine. It doesn't rev fine. You can hear it missing. I'm gonna fire it up for you just here in a second. But with if you're gonna do this in your house or at your shop, whatever, say you want to get into this, get you a heat gun. So how I know it's not getting enough fuel, because header number 1 and number 2 are not as hot as number 3 and number 4. Now, if it was 1 and 4 were hotter than 2 and 3, I would know that it is a spark problem, maybe the spark plugs or something, but it's not. It is number 1 and number 2. So that is fuel-related carburetor issue, something. So with my handy-dandy fuel tank right here, let me fill this up real quick. Also, if you're doing the whole carburetor deal, doing old Kawasaki's, make sure you get you something like that. Back inside, buddy. Sorry, sun's out here. Make sure you get something like this so you can do a fuel tank without having the tank on. So, turn the key on, which I replaced all those LEDs so they're nice and bright. A little bit of choke. Switch on. More choke. But, hey, hadn't ran since 06. She runs. A little cold-blooded, but also not getting the fuel I need for 1 and 2. Sorry, 1 and 2. Also, another thing you should get is one of these. Now, they're Harbor Freight. They're cheap. Well, okay, they're cheaply made, but they work. I set the fuel pump in till right here, just to make sure I didn't get the electronics in there. You can see the color change. And let it run. Let it run in the machine for about an hour. It heats up to about 170 degrees, 80 degrees Celsius. I did that for about an hour. Ran it in there along with the gas cap. Kid you not, that was frozen. It unstuck. So I was really excited. So listen. Okay, so I don't know what's going on now, but it's actually running good. Like really good, like a little too good, honestly. The choke is off all the way. Shoot, I don't know. It fixed itself. That doesn't really happen, but it's okay. It's running way better than what it was. So this how it stumbles. That is strictly because I have no air box, no air filter. It's sucking so much air so quickly, it can't keep up. But the fact that I can go, that's all 4 cylinders. I'll show you before it dies because it's gonna run out of gas. 180. What is something? Okay, so it's still not running right. 160, 150. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so either I was cold revving the dog out of it, which okay, I am, but listen, it's okay. Or something's not right, maybe something is not right with this one. So another thing I do before I pass out of, you don't really want to run these fuel pumps dry. Just have them click in because they start clicking faster and faster, and then eventually they're going to go out. But anyways, with any carbureted engine, you can, especially 1 cylinders because they have 1 carburetor, you can rev them up even though they're running terribly. Rev them up, and put your hand over it. Boom. So it's going to create a vacuum, and then if it's just a little bit of particles, a little bit of junk, whatever, it usually will suck it out of it. So I was doing that earlier. I was hitting about 10 or 11,000, and I would cover number 1. Just boom, cover it up, almost killing it. Backfiring, blowing flames, yada yada, the whole 9. Sorry. And maybe it helped it. Regardless, I will still buy the All Balls Racing rebuild kit just for the seals, because these are still seals from 06. Really, probably from 95 when this bike was made. They were pretty hard. I just want to replace the bowl seals for sure so I don't get a leak ever. I want to replace the air fuel mixture screw seals. I had everything in the ultrasonic cleaner. It did help. It did make them feel rubbery again, but I'm afraid that even though they're touching gas again, yada yada, I'm afraid that it might leak or suck air through it, which if the air fuel mixture or screws are sucking air, your carb's not be correct. So the next thing on my list is to sink the carbs, or depending on if I get some money pretty soon, to rebuild them with the new seals. One of the two will come. I think I should rebuild them first before I sink them, because really pulling them off, you need to resync them again, supposedly. Anyways, that's that. You heard it run. I don't know how to edit the video to show pictures, but because it probably was sitting since 06, you should have seen the black tar that was in the carburetors. I'm assuming that was just leftover ethanol, just because, of course, fuel has ethanol in it. The gasoline will evaporate, the ethanol will stay. Well, it was enough ethanol in the bowls. The bowls were probably full. The floats were stuck, actually, to the aluminum, because the ethanol bridged the gap between the aluminum and the float bowl, and the plastic floats itself, that it was stuck. Just straight up stuck. Clean those, bought some carburetor cleaner from Walmart. It's my go-to. I wish I was sponsored, but I'm not. Regardless, that stuff for $3.22. This stuff works. That will take paint off. Anyways, here is fuel cap. No rust, no nothing. I think I'm going to try this stuff in the tank, because that stuff is what's in here in my ultrasonic cleaner. It actually is lime green. It's black because it works, I think, pretty well. But I also think it eats rust, because that was rusty, very, very rusty. I'm going to boil some water, mix probably 2 gallons, and put it in the tank. Let me get a flashlight. Where? There we go. You can see. That's just absolutely terrible. Anyways, put it in there, let it boil, and boil some water, about maybe 2 gallons. Mix 2 gallons of that into the boiling water and throw it in there. leave it for 45 minutes or so until the boiling water gets cold. Maybe you pour it out, and it might work. It worked fantastic on that. Turn the rust white and just kind of flaked off. In that, I can just shake around. I don't want to buy a new tank because this tank really has no damage, no dents, no scratches, literally nothing. Sorry, take that back. I do think there is. Actually, I don't even see it anymore. Maybe it was just. I thought it was a scratch, but it was like some rust, stuff like this, like that will take off. Regardless, that should clean up very well. I should be able to get these out. That's just some little love marks here, and here. I should be able to compound, maybe wet sand it, compound polish, and get it out to where it's. This bike should look, I don't want to say museum quality, but good enough. You know what I mean? Somebody would want to keep it. If they were a collector and they wanted this, they had this bike when they were 16, back in '95, and now they're 50. They might want it. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. I don't know if I'm going to sell it. We do plan on going to the Tail of the Dragon September 21st through the 25th next year, obviously 2025. So I think I'm going to take this if I still have it, which I should. I don't know why I'm going to sell it. I think we try to get out of the whole selling thing because sometimes you just can't get it again, like my 2J models that I've sold, unfortunately, the ZX7s. But we're definitely taking this. I will still have this. This thing runs too good not to take it. There's no problems whatsoever. So, with that being said, I'm going to get off of here. Dinner is going right now. Baked potatoes are in the oven. I'm fixing some ham to put in there. Anyways, shop's a mess. This is my laundry room. So, I do appreciate y'all watching again. I know it's going to take a little bit to get some of y'all back because, I haven't posted so long. So, some of y'all aren't really, he posted again. He probably some short little video and let's not watch it. But with this thing, I'm going to try to get back into it. If I pull the carbs back off, I will show you. Again, I'll show you. Actually, this time I'll take a video of it. Inside of it, they look almost identical to a ZX7 carburetor. I actually think I could probably modify a ZX7 airbox to fit. I kid you not. They really, the P model, the 96 to 97, has the middle throttle linkage, and it seriously looks just the same. And actually, I put the ZX7. I have an airbox over there. It fits. Okay. It looked like it will bolt on. It don't quite fit because it's a little bigger, obviously, longer wise, because the ZX7 has a little bit more room in this area. But regardless, I'll see what I can do, or I'll just find one on eBay and buy it. So I can't wait to get this thing up and riding. It's running now. I can probably hit the start button. I gotta put this back together. The throttle obviously is not here. It's just easier to pull the cables off this way. And the front brakes are locked up. But other than that, man, this thing should come together nicely. But I appreciate y'all watching once again. I will get off of here now, get dinner done. Talk to y'all later.